Welcome back. So today we are going to see Git or GitHub. People just talk it in different names. So just to give a brief introduction, what is Git and why are we using, so that it will be interesting to know more into the details. Okay. So because we all are from the coding background, I mean, forget about we are from testing or from the development background. The main what you call motto behind the stuff is that we need to code. Okay, so we will have a programming language, a editor. Okay, so now what is source control and why are we learning about this source control? I mean, without this can't we survive, doing the programming? Okay, so the answer is, straight answer is no. The reason is that, let's say me and among five of you are working together in a organization. Okay, now we are working on a particular project. Let's say the gmail.com is developed in, just for an instance, Java programming language. Okay, so now X person from any one of you, the manager said that, okay, you know what, you are responsible for creating the inbox screen. Okay, that inbox layout, whatever it is there. I have been assigned to do the themes functionality. Now another person is assigned to do, let's say, the chart functionality, which is on the left hand side. It is coming. Okay, so now there are some instances where, let's say that the inbox is, the functionality is more, and you have more functionalities are there. One more person pitched into that to kind of develop the same stuff only. Okay, and there are instances where on a single file multiple persons might work. Actually, it's not that I will be finishing xyz.java and then another person will finish the abc.java, and at the end all of these files will combined, and then once you build that you will get the application. In reality that is not the case, because continuous development, right? We always keep on listening that the agile, nowadays every organization is following the agile. So that's where actually the conflict is coming. Let's say there is a xyz.java, one file is there, I'm working on that, and then some other person, any one of you, also want to change something in that file. Now how do you do that? So you will ask me, hey Sunil, can you give me that file? Now whatever I have saved, that I will give you that file, and then you will take, or else I will keep that into a remote repository, Git, your Google Drive or something, and then you will take it. By the time you are editing something, I might be editing that as well, right? Something else I'm editing that, because I won't be waiting till you will finish your stuff, and then I will ask you back, and then I will add my own, which is in reality that is not the case, right? So that's where actually the conflict is coming, because the same file many people are updating, and then we don't know actually who updated first and which one is really the correct one. So that's where actually source control came into the picture. Now this is one of the biggest problem. Another problem is that, let's say you have written like 5 lines of code, after that you have written 20 lines of code, but you want to revert it back. How do you do that? If you do control z, then it will be only removing that particular piece, that instance, whatever you have written. But how do you know that, what else I have written starting from the beginning actually? So you don't have anything to do the undo changes to certain instance actually. That is one of the problem actually. Okay, so that's why the first statement is coming, why source control. One of the benefit is that collaboration, like as I told, if multiple people are working, to avoid the conflict we are using the source control actually. Undo changes, I already explained that. Comparison, like let's say that I have written certain code, and then I have given you that document. Now you have edited something. Now you want to know what Sunil changed and what I have changed, because you might not be keeping track of all the stuff that you have written, right? So that's where actually source control is giving you an option what each user has changed the stuff, so that you can compare and see which one is needed. Okay, another is backup. So the thing is that the source control always keeps your data as a version wise. So you edit something, it will keep track. Another thing you have edited and then you committed, then it will keep another track, so it will keep that version. Now normally what you do, let's say that you are practicing something. Normally what you do, you kind of write whatever the java file. Before you will shut down your system, what you will do, you take that backup, actually you keep that in the google drive, or else if you have some dropbox account, you keep that those stuff actually. So now by using it, you really don't want to do that, because it keeps that backup automatically. So all those things are benefit of using the source control. Now why this source control we are learning? Because I mean, why the git now coming into the picture? The thing is that because for this source control we need certain software or a tool, right, who can help us with all these features. So that's where actually git is coming into the picture. Okay, git is open source and it is also paid one. Like most of the organization, to make it private, because they have huge code base, right, so they kind of do a customization. Okay, nowadays if you know that Microsoft is giving Azure DevOps. So before it was VSTS, but now they are giving another platform where it is called Azure DevOps. It is on AWS actually, that is built. Now there you will get even Git, because we all know that Microsoft acquired Git. So Git is basically providing all of the above features, and also it is free means open source, anybody can just create an account. And they do have a enterprise licenses to have more customization. Like they can build a team, they can make a project, they can customize whatever the way, any kind of authentication they can make it. So all those security stuff will be inside that enterprise, so that no outer person can tap into that. Okay, so git, now let's understand how we will be using git. Now we understood why git. Okay, now Git, again, it is available for different platforms. Like we have Windows, then Mac operating system, we have Linux, but most of us are using Windows or Macintosh. So I have listed that one. So now I was talking at the beginning, right? Like few people are talking about Git, GitHub. Now let's understand what is the difference between Git and GitHub. So Git is basically the software that you install on your system actually. Because see, to understand these features, your system has to have some kind of programming stuff, right? So that's where you have to install the git. Now what is github? Hub means it is a repository, like a centralized repository. So git itself is providing a github actually, where you can do all this collaboration stuff. Because see, if I keep in my system all the code base, then the collaboration is not coming into the picture. Because either I have to make my system up and running 24 by 7, or else I need to find a server actually, which is not feasible. So that's where actually Git provides a GitHub account, which is a online platform. Like you can go with the github.com and you can create your own account, because it is free to use. And I think starting from 2020 they are giving some private repository also, like nobody else can see that. So for your practice purpose, you can make it open source. I mean, no need to make it as private. And then collaboration, like what it is, the collaboration in one sentence, if I tell, I will write some code. I will push my code to the GitHub. Now another person can pull that to use that, and then they will edit something. Then they will push back again. Okay, so that's where actually that push pull is making the collaboration, so that there won't be any conflicts. And then any conflicts are coming, GitHub will show you that. We will see that how we can handle those things. And then different editors are there. We can use IntelliJ, as you all are from Java background, you know IntelliJ very well. Even Eclipse, we have Visual Studio Code. Nowadays Visual Studio Code also supports for multiple languages. Even though, I mean, for this push pull, it's not mandatory that you have to use that particular programming editor only. Because Git basically does not worry about whether you are using C Sharp, Java, or Python, or TypeScript. Git is independent. There is because the Git takes all of your code base as a file system only. Okay, they don't even care about what is the file extension, what it is. It just takes care of the files only. Okay, it is because we are doing the programming, so that's why we say that okay, Java code we are sending, but Git really don't care about what kind of extension you are doing a collaboration. Okay, so that is the main difference between Git and GitHub, and this could be one of the interview question as well. Okay, so now let's understand what is how to install the Git. Okay, so there are two ways, I mean, two platforms which we will be learning. One is your Windows operating system. So if you guys are using Windows, so let me go to this one, and then if I open this one, and this is for Windows, actually Windows operating system. If you're using Windows operating system, you can see here, because it is open source, it is available on GitHub, and you can see this is one. I will show you how to use this Git, so don't worry about that. So here you can see few of the options are available, like if it is like 64-bit operating system, we all know that we have different what do you call different architects are there, right? Like 32-bit, 64-bit. So if it is 64-bit or 32-bit, you can use that. Exe is the extension to install that. Okay. It's very simple, like your normal application. You can just click on this. Let me expand this one. Okay. So if you see here, all of the different platforms they are using, if it is 32-bit, you can just click on this, it will download that particular application or software, and then just double click it and it will install that Git. If it is 30 to 64-bit, you can use this one. Fine. Okay, so this is that simple to use that. Now, while installing, there is one radio button you will be getting, and that radio button there you will get three radio buttons. Okay. Now, normally I would suggest to make the middle one, which it says that use Git from window command line, because this Git provides few of the commands actually, and to integrate with your command prompt. You have your own command prompt, right? With your Windows, it is coming. Now, to integrate that, better to use this option, so that you need not to do any other setup. You are good to go with that. So that is one option. That's why I'm keeping that as a note here. And we'll install Git bash. So this Git is nothing but Git bash actually. Git bash commands, like you have Unix commands, Windows commands. The same thing. Git has few of the commands. We will learn after a bit. So this Git bash, to connect with your command prompt, you have to select this option. Okay, that is only one time while installing. Fine. Okay, now for Mac operating system. Now for Mac, if you guys, because we all are from Java background, right? Now few of the persons might be using even your Mac operating system also. So now to install in Mac, it's again very simple. uh, if you're using Mac, you know there is a command called brew, brew. By using that brew, you can just say that brew space install Git. It will just upgrade your home brew. It is again an inbuilt command actually. So that application it will update and then install the latest version of Git. It is again that simple. And here no kind of no integration is required. Mac is coming a inbuilt what do you call integration with the Git. Okay, so that is fair simple way of installing the Windows and Mac operating system Git. Now how do you know that if Git is installed or not? So you have to type a command called git space version. Now let me show you that. Let me open my terminal. Okay, so here if you see Git and then hyphen space sorry space version, you can see it is coming the Git version. Yeah. Okay, so here you can see Git version, it is coming 2.243. The same thing for Windows, just open your normal command prompt and then say git space version, you will get that. So if you are getting the particular version, you will make sure that it is installed properly. Fine, now we are done with the Git. Now there is one thing called as generate SSH key. Now because I said you, I mean it is collaborative, means on the online over the internet you are communicating actually. among yourselves. Now the code which you are writing actually for your organization or any of the small projects, or if you are doing a freelancing, then there could be a chance of tapping from the outsiders. So that's why actually what Git is providing a certain level of security actually. Now what Git is saying, that if you are creating an account in the GitHub, you need to authorize yourself to push and pull actually all those things. So that's where this SSH key is coming into the picture. Okay. Now if you go to the Git website and then say that to generate SSH key, it will give you list of like a clear explanation of that. But let's not worry about that. I have just written that in a simple way actually. Just follow this one blindly and you will be done with that. Okay. So the first thing is that what you need to do here, you need to use this SSH hyphen keygen hyphen T RSA. RSA is kind of a algorithm, right? RSA algorithm. Like if you guys would have known about C or C++, that time we were learning about RSA algorithm, or maybe in Java also it could be there. Okay. Now they're giving certain what you call on this command actually options, and then you will have to give your email address, so that by with respect to that email address, it will be secured. It will make a secure channel between your system and then that GitHub account. Okay. So this account, make sure whatever account or email address you are using, the same email address you have to create an account in GitHub. Okay. Or you are using that account only to do push pull and everything. Fine. Okay. Now after you will just type this one, be it on Windows or Mac operating system, what you will do, you will be getting a prompt message actually, like below to that, because I have already done, so I won't be getting that. So you will get like this. Okay. So what it will do that, it will ask you to save the key into a particular location, so you need to provide the complete path actually. Now the path it is giving till this SSH only. I would always so here you can see I'm giving a separate folder actually here, like id underscore RSA, because RSA is that algorithm. So for understanding purpose, I've given underscore QAV box, some account I'm giving here. Okay, any name. Like if your name is, let's say, Rupees, then you can just say that ID underscore RSA underscore Rupees. You can just give that name. Any name actually you can give. So this location is coming by default. .ssh is the your hidden folder. We all know if we are putting a dot at the beginning, it will be hidden, so there is less chance of deleting that while you are doing any kind of deletion. Fine. So you will just give a folder name only. Once you give that folder name, just press enter. Key press enter. Now what this will do, now SSH key gen, right? So it is generating a key, SSH key. So that key is saving into this particular folder. Simple concept. Okay. Now after you will keep on enter, it will ask you to enter the password actually. Now what so for this password, I would suggest to make blank actually. There is no problem of making it is blank, because it is your system, nobody else will be using that, and you have that what do you call your user log is there, right? So you need not to worry about that. Okay. And then again it will ask for a confirmation password, again enter it. And the reason why we are talking, it's not only for practice purpose. If you are using real time in your organization also, they will first ask you to generate the SSH key. So it is I mean, your personal or you are working with an organization, this is mandatory. I mean, age of my experience, we have to do this. Okay. So keep this in mind, these steps. That's why I've written everything step by step. Fine. Now, after you confirmed the password, which I'm suggesting to have blank, now you will be again getting a prompt actually. Now, what it will say that your identification has been saved into this location. What is this location? This location is already this one, which you already provided. So it is just giving you a confirmation that, hey boss, your like the key is already generated and saved into this particular file. Okay. Now there is another file you can see which we didn't even added actually, and the extension is .pub. Now, whatever the file name you have mentioned at the beginning, it will just append a dot and a pub actually. Pub is nothing but public actually. So it is a public folder. Now there is a private which is internal to you. Another is public. Now this is what we will be using that. Now what you need to do, there are some I mean, I always seen this instance actually. Sometimes we are not getting actually this folder properly, so I just did some googling, and then I got it that you have to run this command actually. Okay, if you're not getting this prompt, better to use this one as well. So it will just make sure that under this ssh this particular file is present or not. Now to check that, what you can do, this is actually small s, it's just capitalized whenever when I entered this one. So okay, ssh hyphen add hyphen l, this is l actually, l for long. Okay, now it will give you the list of ssh, so whatever it will list you again the same two lines of code. Okay, fine. Now on windows, what you can do, you can just run this one. Okay, that is the difference only here. Now here you can see, like as I told, whatever the .pub file is there, that is where actually our actual key is present, that with that RSA algorithm, whatever it is there. Now what you need to do, whenever, like let's say that you are three members are working on a Git project. Now what they in your Git account, now let me go to the GitHub. Now this is where actually your GitHub looks like. Okay, now here you will see there is a sign in and sign up button is there. Okay, now you have to first sign up actually, where you have to give your username, email address, password and everything. It's a simple like you are doing with Gmail, Facebook or LinkedIn, wherever you are giving. Now after giving that, you will be sign in actually. Now let me sign in with my credentials, and then normally this actually, this is just a second level of verification. It is just asking. Nowadays they're making more secure actually this one. Okay, so it will just ask you a mobile number to give a phone number registered with that, and then every time you log in, it will ask you a OTP which will be coming to your mobile. Okay, so fine. Now here, if you see, let me go to this profile, and then let's go to the settings. And if I go to here, SSH keys, you can see there is something called a new SSH key. So you will just click on this one, give any name. That doesn't matter because I'm using Mac. I just given Mac with my name. And then here you will be giving that particular key, which you got generated in this one, this folder, this public folder. Fine, that is the only step actually. You have to mandatorily do that, then only whenever you are excuse me, whenever you are doing a push pull, this will be notified or this will be authenticated automatically. Okay, so the username password is required to get into this. This is just giving you a dashboard stuff, but the actual code push pull collaboration, you need this sss key. Fine. So it's pretty much straight. There is nothing to worry. Just, I mean, if you're doing for the first time, just execute these lines one by one, and let's see if you guys are getting any issues. Okay. Now let's understand few of the Git terminologies that will be useful for us. Okay, because when you are using Git, most probably you will be talking each other. Like for an instance, let's say that if I am learning Java, then if I say Eclipse, I mean, we have to understand what is Eclipse. I should not say every time that, okay, open Eclipse where you will be writing all the code. It's a terminology, right? Everybody should understand. If I say that write a class or create a Java file, no need to even explain about that every time we are talking day in, day out. The same thing, Git has its own terminologies, and we have to be much familiar with those things. Okay, now what is repo or repository? Now, repository, we all know it's a terminology where you are keeping all your code base. Simple thing. It's the project, that project. Okay. And working directory. Now, working directory is basically where you are writing that particular code. Now, so just to give you, let me open my. Okay, so if I could explain in this, I'm very bad in drawing, but let me try that. Okay, so this is basically your local repository. Now, the working directory, now what happens basically, um, so here is your working directory. Now, if I say this is basically your working directory where you are writing all your code. Okay, so a repository is basically it's a project folder actually. It's a folder where all your codes are there, all your files are there, like your Java files, any kind of libraries you are using. So all those stuff, like project, I can say project folder is nothing but the repository. It's as simple as that. Okay, and now working directory is basically it's the directory where you are keeping all your code base. So here you are keeping all your code. Fine. Okay. Now there is something called as staging area. Okay. Now what is staging area? Now let me write another block. Okay. So now this is basically my staging area. Okay. And this is my working area. Fine. Okay. Now what is staging area? So the thing is that let's say, let me open a text editor. Okay. And let me make it as bigger font. Where can I do? Hopefully here. Okay, I'm just writing something. Don't worry about that font size. Okay, got it. Okay, so I'm writing something here. Consider this one is my Java code. Okay, now I want to push this one actually to the Git repository, means to the central repository. Okay, now this is my working directory where I'm writing this code. Now, what is staging area? Staging area is basically where you are making it to a platform which is final actually, means after this particular stuff will go to the GitHub account or into the central repository. Means why we are saying staging area and working area is a different. Let's say that you have created 3 Java files. Okay, now in that 3 Java files, let me just write here like this. So let's say this is my 1.java. Now another file is 2.java, another is 3.java. Now you have created 3 different Java files under your working directory. But the thing is that I mean, you want to keep this for second and third. At this moment you don't want to push this one, you don't want to give to anybody, you want to keep it with your working directory only. So what you need to do, this particular 1.java, you need to put it into the staging area. So here you need to keep it. Now this entire is here, but here only you need to keep this 1.java. Fine. And here you have 1.java is there, 2.java is there, 3.java is there. Now what you need to do in the staging area, you have to move only this 1.java, means it's not a, it's a virtual area. Don't think that it's a another folder where I need to keep. Just think this is actual area where you are writing all your code. I mean the normal project folder. Staging area is basically a virtual space actually. In the Git it will give you any editor like Eclipse, Visual Studio Code, or your IntelliJ. I will show you in a moment. You will have to just right click on this 1.java file and you will make it as a staging. So it will come to the staging area. Means you want to only give the 1.java, 2.java, 3.java will stay in your project folder only. Now this is nothing but staging area. Are we clear with the staging area? So the thing is that, see, don't think it's a separate folder actually. It's a simple thing. So think about this actually. Now you have a folder. Okay. Now I will say that, hey, can you give me your project folder? Let's say now in one of the notepad, let's say you are developing certain application and your username password is there in one of the file. Okay. Now now when I ask you, can you give me your code? What you will do? You will keep that notepad aside, and all other files, like let's say if you have 10 files, what you will do, all those 9 files you will select and then copy paste, or else do a zip file and send to me. You will not basically give me that particular notepad, right? So that's where actually that 9 files which you want to give me is basically coming to the staging area. Means Git will understand that you want to only push this particular file only, not other files. That is the simple thing. It's very simple actually. The thing is that the files that you want to push to the central repository or into the GitHub, keep that into the staging area. As simple as that. And area, when I'm saying, it's not like a panel, it's not like something kind of a separate folder that you need to copy paste, nothing like that. It's a simple, like where you will, all your files will be there. Just right click on that file and then you will put to the staging area, or else in your editors it will give you a particular area where you will just drag and drop that particular file. Now that file will not be dragged, just that name will come, so that Git will understand that, oh okay, this set of files only we need to move to the staging area. Means staging area means you are making a stage actually, final files to send it to the central repository. Fine. Okay, I will show you that in a moment. If you are not getting, then I will again explain. Don't worry about that. Okay. Just understand that terminologies. Okay. Fine. Now .git folder. Now .git folder, as the name suggests, it's a dot. Now this .git is basically keeping all your versions actually. Like I told, right? One of the source control feature is that backup actually. Now how do they will keep the backup? So every time you are writing something, Git will keep a indexing actually. We need not to even worry about that. So .git, there will be a folder created on your folder, on your project folder or project directory, that will be storing all the information regarding your what do you call your version information. Version means again not your application version which you are editing into some YML file or XML and then you are putting it. It's basically the code, the lines that you're writing. Git is keeping an internal versioning actually on that. Then only you can undo and do all those things. So .git is a folder, it will be created on your under your project directory. Then you will understand that, oh okay, now how do you identify that your folder is linked to the Git? By seeing whether there is a .git folder generated or not. How it is generated, we will talk in a moment. Fine. Okay. Now repository is a local repository. Remote repository is basically the GitHub actually, where you are sending your data, your project to the centralized repository. So that is a remote repo, we call it. Now why I'm giving more stress into this, because when you are dealing with a collaboration, you will be, there has to be a terminology, right, where you will be talking each other, else you can't just understand each other. So these are the main terminologies we need to understand actually. So when I'm talking about remote repository, it is basically the what do you call your GitHub account actually, centralized repository. Okay. Now branches, now what are the branches? A simple thing, let me again create a new one. Okay, now branch. Why do we need a branch actually here in Git? Why do we need a branch? Okay, so now as I told, there is a person, there is a so there are like 3 persons are there. Let's see that. Okay, now this is my remote repository. See, this is what it is, helpful terminologies. When I say remote repository, you know that this is the GitHub or the centralized repository where all these 3 developers, whenever they will write their code, they will push to this remote repository. Remote repository. Fine. Okay. Now, let's say, as I was telling, this person will be doing the chart application in the Gmail. This person will be dealing with the inbox. This person will be doing the themes. Okay, now what they will do, that each person will now what happens, the manager first will create a project actually, a basic project folder where all the libraries will be there, any kind of supporting files, a blank project directory they will create. Okay, this is your basic project directory. Now what this will be done, each one of you will take this what do you call particular folder and then create your own branch. so that no persons will be what you call kind of conflicting each other actually. Like when you are taking a copy from here, you are taking a copy, you are taking a copy. Okay, so basically what we do, anything that in the remote repository is there, each person will take one copy, and then they will change to branch. Branch is nothing but it's again a virtual space. Don't think that it is again another folder on your project directory. It is just branching actually onto that. So in that branch, like you will say that this is chat branch. So anything related to the chat application coding, you will be keeping into that branch. Okay, now anything related to the inbox related your coding, you will be keeping into that inbox only. Now what will happen after you have written all of your specific code, because these three are independent of each other, right? Anything dependent, you anyway you already would have pushed to the globals. Like let's say that you are putting a global variable. Let's say that now this global variable will be used across all of the team members, right? There is no specific that okay, I don't want to use this global variable. It is global, everybody has to use. Let's say there is a pi you are declaring at the globally. Now this pi variable everybody is needed, so they will keep it here. So we call it as that master branch. So there is a branch called master, and now Git is telling that we will be calling that as main branch. Master or main branch means whatever the code base is under this, that will go to the production. See, normally in the coding development, let's say that you are doing a freelancing. Okay, now somebody is telling you, okay, make me a Gmail. Now what you will do, let's say that chat application whatever you are developing is not yet completed, but your stakeholder is telling that no, I want to make this Gmail available to the users. So what you will say, oh, you know what, inbox and themes are ready. Can we push this one, can we deploy this one into the website? What you will do normally, like in a blank project folder, if you're doing without Git, what you will do, all the chat related code you will cut paste, or you won't link to that, or you will comment everything and then push everything. Now here you basically don't want to do this one. What you can do, anything that is ready, agile says that any small chunk of data you need to push to production. So all those things what you will do, you will push to the main branch. Now everybody will push their workable code into the main branch. Now this main branch, your DBA or your DevOps team will keep that into the production. That is the flow actually, and Git is helping you to make that also. Now here what I will do, master is there, another one is a chart branch is there, another is inbox branch is there. Now as soon as you complete anything, we will be keep on merging actually to this one. Now what you will do, let's say that a chat application is completely prepared. Now what you will do, you will merge into the master branch. Now whenever this will be deployed, chat application will be available to the user. So that is something called as a branching. Just understand it is a different, when the different people are writing their own code, they will branch themselves, and then at the end they will put it to the main branch or master branch. Some people normally they make it as a development branch also, deb branch they make it. Okay, so depending on whatever it is there, you can just use that master or deb. Fine. Okay, so any questions on this branching? Fine. Okay, so we are good with the terminologies. Now let's understand the Git commands. Actually, in Git, there is no coding concept, nothing is there. It's basically a tool which we are using. There is no such programming like public static void main we need to write. Okay, these are all toolings. You need to understand the concept, how you will be handling. And this is again part of your, what do you call, daily work life whenever you are dealing with the organization. Fine. Okay, let me first get it, Git version. I'm getting the Git version here, so I'm good to go. Okay, so now the thing is that let's say I have a new project folder. So what I will do, I'll go to this my folder structure into my directory, or else you can go to your C drive. Okay, so I got one question. Main branch looks like the repository and staging area. Okay, so staging area can be in any branch actually, because staging area is not what you call dependent on the branches. each branch can have a staging area, right? Now whenever I am in a chart branch, I can make whatever the files I want to move it to the staging area, because that chart branch also I need to send it to the GitHub, right? So that time I can make few of the files into that area. Staging area is nothing like what you call, as I told, it's not a different folder actually. It's all virtual. Anything that you want to make files into that area, I mean to push to the your GitHub, you can make that as a staging actually. Staging means you are preparing those files to move it. Your branching is basically, again, it is a high level concept where you are merging the actual code will go there. So I can say staging area is the smaller person when you are talking about branch. When you are pushing the changes, all branch, it's like you have master branch can have different child branches, and then staging area, each branch can have a staging area. So that is the what do you call, hierarchy, I can say. We'll do the one thing, I'll show you that staging, then you will more understand what is that. So don't worry about that. So I have created a folder, git repos, and here I'm creating another folder, let's say sample. Okay, sample is a folder. Now this is basically my project. Yes, exactly. Before you will code, you will commit the code to the repository. It's basically you are making that file ready to move it. So commit, why I'm not giving, because it will be again making more confusion. So that's why I didn't say. So whenever you are committing, that committing is again coming after making it a staging actually. To the staging is basically you are preparing actually. Okay. Yeah. Fine then. Yeah. So I have a sample folder here. Now here what I will do, I will create a folder actually here. Now let's say that, okay, this escape, let it be here, and then let me save it. And let me go to my folder, git repo sample, and then here I'm saying that first dot txt. Okay. So why I want to do, okay, let me keep this one better. I will do it as a Java file. Let me make it as a Java. First dot Java. Oops. Why it's giving? Just give me a moment. Let me just make this folder. Just a second. Okay. So I have this first dot Java. Fine. Now here what I will do, let me open this one into a text editor. Fine. So here some code I have written. Now what happened, I have written this code. Now I want to, oh no, I can't increase this font because this is just the folder structure. Don't worry about that. It's a simple folder structure I have created under the C drive. Let's see like this. Under C drive I have created a git repos folder. Under that I have created a sample project, sample folder. Under that I have a first dot java. If you can see this one, it's a simple thing here. Skp is there, simple, some code actually I have written here. Okay, so that is simple because I'm not writing any code base here. It's a simple folder and file structure only, because I said git and github is not related to any kind of programming language. So it's completely there. Git is considering any programming language as a files and folders only. Fine. Okay. So now here what we will do, now this one I want to keep it into a, I want to keep it in a what do you call, into the GitHub repository. Fine. Okay. So now what we will do, how do we push it? Okay. Now we have the Git ready. Git is the software on my local system. It is ready. GitHub account is ready. I have already the GitHub account. Now how do I do that? So now let's move to the GitHub first. Okay, now what we will do here, let me go to this one. So this is my account. First, when you go with this, you might not be even seeing all these things, so don't worry about that. You will see something called as a repository. Okay, remote repository. Now click on this new button. Okay, now when you click on this new button, you will be getting a repository name. So you have to give some kind of project name. So you will have a project name under your on your local drive, so don't worry about that. You can give even the same name only here. Okay, and then here I am just giving, let's say that JTC Windows app, some name I'm giving. Let me make it as Win app. Okay, some Windows application I'm making for the JTC. Okay, now here I'm making like some description. You have to give application for JTC. You can just say that built in Java, some name you're giving. Now it's saying add a readme file. I mean, it's up to you whether you want to use that or not. A readme file is basically, it is basically what is this project is all about. If somebody want to use your project, how will they use your product? Like you will say that, okay, download this application, install it. So kind of a manual actually you need to uh, use there. So I let me keep that as well, a readme file. And then here you can see main as a default branch. I said at the beginning, master or main is the default branch. Okay, before it was master, now they're keeping it as a main branch. So I will say create a repository. Fine, and you can see this is the read only. Here you can explain about your project, about your product. How do you install? If it is a web application, what is the URL, what is the login credentials, how do you do? All those manuals you can write. And you can see always the GitHub file extension is .md. .md means it's like a notepad only. Markdown, I mean, if you want the markdown, so your GitHub always uses a markdown concept. Actually, markdown is where you can give headers, you can give so it's basically short codes actually. So you can use that, you can search that. I don't want to like talk about that. You can just search in Google git markdown, mark. Let me just use it here. Git markdown syntax. If you search, you will get. So any syntax that is there, you can use it in .md file. Okay, fine. Now let's go to here. Okay, now you can see here I don't have any kind of files, because all the files are all the my project and code base is under this folder only, right? Yeah, under this only. Now how do I say that? Second, where is that git repos? Yeah, under here. Now here my files are there. How do I push to here? That is what we are going to see. Okay, fine. Now let's see this one and then open it here. Let's go to that particular project folder in the command prompt. So what you can do, if you are using Windows, you have one option, right? At the above address bar is there, just type cmd, then you will be directly navigating to that project directory. If in Mac, if you will right click on that, you will get it. And you can see sample is my folder, right? Under that folder I have the project is there. So what I will do here, the first line is git init. Okay, git init, what it will do, it will initialize the git directory. That's where actually the git is generating. Now if I go to my folder structure, you can see only first.java. If you're, you can see first.java is there only. I can't oh, I think I can do that. Oh great, okay. You can see first.java, you have, let's say that 5 or 6 files are there. Now if I want to see the hidden files, you can see there is a .git. Okay, .git folder generated automatically. Now under this, I mean, you need not to even worry about that. As I told, this keeps all the information about whatever I'm writing. Let's say that I'm opening this into a text editor. You can use any kind of editor. And I'm saying that I will write some content here. Now, before I have written some text, now I've written any some other text. Now, these information will be there in this .git folder. Okay, now that's where actually you will understand that your git directory is initialized, means it is now linked to the git. Okay, fine. Now there is a command called add. So now git is providing, and for Windows also you can do that. That's where actually I was talking, right? This git bash, will be integrating with your command prompt, so that you need not to do anything else. Fine. Okay, so git init is done. Now how many files you have? Now if you make it as a status, you can see what it is telling. Untracked files means unstaged files. I did not make it as staged because it is simple. I've created a file and then I'm keeping that. I don't know why it is taking still as rtf file, but it should be a java file only. And what it is telling, it's still untracked means you are not yet prepared. You need to include whatever you want to commit. Not visible git console, you can't see this one. Okay, because it is opaque, let me do one thing. I'm just making bit fancy sometimes, so that I can look properly. Yeah. Uh, okay. Hopefully now you guys can see properly. This background I made bit more blacker. Okay. So here you can see. Let me bring it here. Okay, good. Yeah, fine. So you can see here it is throwing in a red text that the first file, first dot whatever extension is there, that is not yet tracked. Okay, it is still untracked. So to do that, what I need to do, git add, it is telling. Now what I will do, let's do one more fun. Now here, let me add another file. Okay, text editor, and then I will write something I'm writing here. And then here I will say second file, second dot rtf only. Anyway, let's see if Java file it is taking. Okay, let me keep this one only and then save it. And let's make it as use both. Okay, and you have second.java file I have mentioned here. Now I have two files only. Fine. Now here, if I again go to the git status, now let's see what it is telling. It is telling that now you have two files, but it's not yet staged. Now what I want to do at this moment, I don't want to send this first file. I want to send this second file only. First file, I'm not sure yet. I still have something to write there. It's not yet prepared actually. So for this reason, I want to send this second.java into the GitHub account. Now what I will do here, git add, if I say dot, there is a dot command, dot option if I'm giving, what will happen? Both the files will be ready to commit actually. Now if I don't say dot, now I will say second.java, means the second file is now ready to stage. Okay, now let's push the second dot. Now let's make it a status again. Let's go to the status. What it is telling, you can see second.java is now green in color, means it is already staged. And you can see changes to be committed. So one of the person rightly messaged that anything that you are making staged, that is ready now to commit. So now commit is coming again, another terminology. Commit means you are committing yourself that I want to push this particular what you call, I want to push this particular file to the GitHub, so that another person, one of my team member or friend, can download that particular project and then write the code. Fine. Okay, so now let's do one thing. Okay, you have to commit because it is very clearly telling changes to be committed is this one. Fine. Now what you need to do, git commit and then -m for message. You need to send some message, because see, everything we need to keep track of who is doing editing. See, in real time what happens, let's say you are not using git, you will change something, you will push that code into the some server actually. Now there is some error is coming. Now your manager will go back to that code base and will ask who actually edited this particular code, and before it was working, now this version it is not working. Now everybody will become silent because there is no track. Even though I did that mistake also, I won't be what do you call, confessing myself. But here everything that you are doing is tracked actually. Okay, so now I will say that I will say upload second, or I can say uploading second dot java. I will say like this and I will put enter. Okay, Yes, you are getting one more error here. What it is telling, it's saying that your identity is not yet declared actually. Because if you see, I have created Git, I have installed Git, I have created a GitHub account. How do GitHub will let that this particular email is only dealing with this one? What if some other person is using my system and then he is using that? So what you need to do, each project you need to associate with the email address. Okay, so that's where actually git config is coming into the picture. Here you can see git config. Now git config, what it will do, you have to assign a username and a user email address to this particular project. Okay, let's not get confused with all these things. A simple thing, you have installed Git, you have created a GitHub account. Now you came to your project folder, created a simple project directory, and now you are pushing that code. Simple thing, all this what you call commands you are running one by one, and in between whatever problems are coming, we are solving that. Okay, that is the only thing we are doing here. Fine. So now here what I will do, git config, I will say git config user dot name. You can see it is coming as blank because I did not assign anything. Now here what I will do, I will put my username, the username which you are using into the GitHub account. Fine, username is done. Now I will say email. Okay, some email I'm giving here. So at this moment I'm just using some email address which I'm using in my GitHub account. Anything on my name also I can do that. Now here, now how do you confirm that one? Now, if I say git config user.email, you will see that particular email is assigned here. Fine. Okay. Fine. Now, let me do a commit and let's see what error it is throwing me. Okay, so now here it is telling that it is already one file changed and whatever insertions are there and it is already done, means master commit is done, and this is to the master or main branch I already told. And what git said, I mean I'm just talking about a quick story about master to main. So what git told that when we are talking about master, it feels like it is dominating always. So git recently, very recently, renamed this master to main. I mean, the branch name will be master, but we call it as a main branch. So whenever in the organization, let's say you are going and going into the project, your manager will say that, hey, push to the main branch. Don't worry, they're referring to the master branch. Okay, so now I have committed. So what I did, I have initialized so that .git folder got created. I have added to the staging area. So this git or add dot is nothing but I'm moving to that into a staging area. See, there is no staging area. It's a virtual. So that's why I said it's simple thing. From the first .java, second .java, what files I want to move. Simple thing I'm doing that. Git status, just to understand what the status of at this moment. Git commit, before git commit, make sure that you are using this git config so that in the configuration, your email address and your username will be loaded actually, will be saved so that who is pushing that code can be tracked actually. Good. Okay, so now after this what I need to do, once I have committed, the second thing is that I need to push this code to somewhere. What is that somewhere? Like I need to get a destination actually. Okay, now I have prepared everything. I have made that particular person very well decorated. Now I want to deliver it. How do I deliver it? That's where actually coming to the picture. Git remote add origin. Okay, remote is referring to the remote repository. That's why this terminology is there. So whenever I'm using remote, it is dealing with the GitHub account only. Now how do I get this remote git path? If you go to your account, you can see this is my application, right? Or the project folder where I want to keep my second.java here. Okay, now if you go to this code, you will see something called as https and ssh. Okay, now here what I will do, I will copy this one. This is my destination folder actually. You can use even HTTPS also, but I always prefer to go with Git. I mean this SSH destination path. So I will go here, and as usual, I am not remembering all the code, so I always keep handy all these things. Even you can see that code and then use it. There is no problem. And then add origin and then you have to provide that particular path, and I will be giving that path. And don't worry, this is one extra thing I'm doing. I have done one more configuration, that's why I'm doing. In your normal thing, you will just straightforward copy this one you copy it and paste it here. Okay, simple thing. So git remote add origin, what it will do, let me just enter it. Now there is one more command. If I put git remote, if I remember that correctly, okay, yes, okay, you can see git remote hyphen v, it is giving me that particular path. Okay, the path to push the code or fetch is nothing but to pull the code. Okay, it is just giving me a confirmation that am I really I mean my destination is really proper or not. Fine. Okay, so now we are almost done actually. Now the last command is you need to push that. Okay, now what you need to do here, oops, sorry, what did I do? Okay, now git push hyphen u, okay, origin, and then master. What is master here? Master is my branch. How do I know? If you go here, you can see main branch. Oh, okay, they renamed this one as main, but still the master branch we call. Or else if they're saying why can't I change this one, okay, I can make it because all the new repos they are now renaming to this main. All existing branches it is still in master only. Fine. Okay, so what I can do here, git push hyphen u origin. Origin is basically your remote, which branch, that branch is this branch actually. Till now I didn't created any other branch, so the branch is still main only, so I will just create it. Fail to push some references, why it is, let's see what it is saying. Main does not match anything. Let me make it as master, let's see what is coming. Great, they're giving main, but they're telling us to make it as master. Okay, yeah, so here you can see master had recent pushes less than a minute ago. Now let me just save it, and you can see there is a master branch created automatically, and you can see second actually. Let's see what is this. Yes, okay, so now you can see there is a new branch called master, and under this you have second.java. If I open it, don't worry about this formatting because txt file is not supporting into Mac, so that's why it is giving all this hexa codes. So don't worry about this. You can see welcome to JTC, whatever I have written here, the project folder here, that is visible there. So let me open this one. You can see that file is here. Now anything that you are writing now will be copy pasting here. Any doubt so far with this procedure, whatever we have used this entire thing? So this is basically the way where we are pushing. So normally what happens, one thing to keep it in mind, you need not to do every time git init. Okay, git init is always once only. On the first time when you are pushing the data, that time you need to do git init. I can just, oops. Fine. Okay. For the first time only you need to do. After this, from the second time onwards, anything that depending on your code base, either you are adding a dot or whatever the full file names directly. Fine. Okay. So now let's see a bit about the branching. If we are clear with this one, then I will move to the branching. Okay, great. Fine. Now let's see a bit about branching actually. Then I will talk about cloning, which is our last part. Okay. Now git clone. Okay. Now I have pushed to the GitHub repository. But what about your branching actually? Where exactly the branching is coming into the picture? So I hope every one of us are very clear with the concept of staging area. It is nowhere related to the branching. At least now we come to know. Now let's see the branching. Like I said, um, we are now dealing with different what do you call, different branching, because different people are working on different. Let's say that I have been assigned to create a chat application in the Gmail. Now I don't want to hamper anybody. I want to create a my own branch, and I will be comfortable writing my own code. So what I will do, I will now, if you see here, Git branch, you will see there is a master branch. You can see master branch is there. Fine. Now what I will do here, Git branch, and I will say hyphen a, and you can see it is telling master, which is currently I am on local master branch. There is again two different stuff is there, because see, first time when I create a branch on my local, it will be in local only. I didn't push that yet. Fine. So that's why it is saying that you have a master branch, which is star. You can see a star, if you could see a star mark. So star is basically where you are at this moment. So my code is at master branch. Now remote is my remote branch. There is again a master branch. Now let's do one thing, and we will see a different result. Now git branch, I can do even one more also. Git checkout, and I will say here some branch, let's say chart. Okay, I need to give a hyphen b. Hyphen b means branch. So you can see switch to a new branch. Now if I say get branch, you can see chart branch. Now if I say get branch hyphen a, see the difference actually. When I'm saying get branch, it is only dealing with my local branches only. So okay, let me talk or else. So what I did is, let me just repeat quickly. I just said git checkout hyphen b is the branch chat. Now what it did, it said that switch to a new branch chat. Now this chat, now the question comes, what code is coming to there? Now whatever code actually you have in this master branch is moving to this chat branch. Keep that in mind. Okay. Now this chat branch is there. So git branch hyphen a is all the remote branches also it is showing. Now you can see we have only one master branch, but here if you see we have two branches, because this chat branch till now I didn't push to the remote repository. If I make a git status, you can see that the files are not yet tracked. So it is still on branch chat, it's not yet branch, nothing to commit, because whatever into the github branch, I mean github central repository, the same code base is with me only. Now let's see a change. Now if I put git status next time, let me do one thing, let me go back to here. Which one shall we do? Let me go to this second only, and I will open into a notepad, and I will say again welcome. Forget about what text I'm writing. Something I have edited here. Now, because see, continuously you are developing, right? So you're adding some code to the existing one. So now if I put status, see, before it was coming first.rtf only, but now it is coming that first.rtf, and second also it is there here. Now first.rtf and second.rtf, both the files are not yet tracked, because I have edited that, but I am not making anything there. So that's where actually this thing is coming. Means untracked means what we will do, we already know this one. Untracked or unstaged means we have to stage it. Now what I will do, what I should do, git add. Now let's do one thing. Now let's push everything, whatever code base is there. Now I will make it as a git add dot. It means now if I make it as git status, you can see everything is now coming as green only, because I have added everything. Add dot means I have added everything here. Fine. Oh, did I rename this first dot RTF, second dot Java to second dot RTF? Let me see that. No, it is still here. I don't know. I think I renamed this one. First dot RTF, second dot RTF. I did git add dot, and then here on branch. I don't know how it got renamed. second.java. Okay, first.rtf and second. Okay, we have two files. Fine, we have two files only. Now git status I have done. Now what I need to do, let's see the steps here again. So see, this time I did not do git init. That's why I said we have to do only for the first time. I started from here when I edited the code. Now git add dot I did. Now what I need to do after staging, if you're not understanding, let me just put, this is basically staging. After staging I need to git commit. So now git commit, sorry, git commit hyphen m, and I will say that completed project or complete project, whatever it is there. Okay, fine. Now I have committed this one. Now after committing, what I need to do, git remote add origin. Do I really need to do that? Not really, because already this file is linked to the remote origin only, and this is also for the first time, so you need not to do anything. Now here what I will do, git push hyphen u origin master. Do I really need to do master here? Not really, because what I will do, git push only I can do this time. Now let's see. So here what it is telling, that you have to tell that you are pushing this particular branch, because you don't know where you are pushing that. So let me copy paste. See, the manual is also giving very good actually. So now why I'm saying set off stream, because this chat branch also I need to move it to the GitHub actually. So that's why I'm making it. Now let me go to this and then refresh this particular project. Okay. And now you can see, before the chart branch was not there, but now we are getting the chart branch. And you can see both the files came here. Before it was only one file, right? Now what I will do, that picture is still with me. Yeah, where is that? Yeah, here is there. So what I told, always the master or main branch we will always move to the production only. Now if you see, is my master branch is updated? See here, is my master branch is updated? No, because it has only second.java. Where is the first.java? Is in the in the chat branch only. So now what I need to do, from chat branch, I need to merge actually to the master branch. How do I do that? Now what happens, let's say that I am the owner, or I am the user actually, who created this chat branch. What I will do, you will see something here, chat head pushes 1 minute ago, means some changes are coming. So you will see something called as a compare and pull request. If you are not getting, let's say that you signed out and signed back in, you will see something called as a pull request. So click on this one. So in the organization standpoint, we say it as a pull request. So any branch that you're pushing and finalizing and you want to merge with the master branch, you need to make it as a pull request. One second. Okay, so now what you need to do, it is here also it is giving that you have a chart branch. Do you really want to compare? Not really. I want to directly go with the new pull request. Now here it is asking base, mean from which branch, I mean from here to here actually you want to move. So what you need to do here, so I will say from chart to master branch I want to push. Okay, so able to merge, because there is no conflicts are there. I just on top of that only I have written it. So what I will do here, see, these branches can be automatically merged actually. Now you will see all these things. Now you can see the exact comparison here. Okay, see, before we had welcome to JTC, but I have changed that skp from JTC. So this is one of the changes coming. Second.rtf, I didn't have anything, that file was not there itself, but now new file I have added, because see, in the chart branch, this is my master branch actually. This is my master branch, and this is my chart branch, which is the latest one. So here you can see all the greens means it is added actually. And if you see, this is also new one. How do I know? If you see here, this is which file, first dot second dot Java, right? So if you see here, let me show you that later. You will see there is a welcome to JTC. It got deleted, and this is my final one. And here the complete file is added. Okay. Now let's see if anything else. There is nothing much. What you need to do, create a pull request. Now you need to create a pull request. Now here you will write something. Write something means you will just say what is that change you did. So you will say that I have added second dot Java. So whoever will confirm this one, they will understand what is the change you did. If you don't want to add anything also, that's fine, because our commit message will tell you what you have added already. So I will say create pull request. Fine. Now this pull request will now stay here only. Now what will happen, your manager or your lead will come to this particular pull request. You can see here one notification is coming as one, and it is pending one is there. This completed project is my message, actually my committed message. Now I will click, you can see if I click on this one, and then what I need to do, I need to always keep this image into your mind, from chart to master. So I will say merge pull request, and then any comment that you want to write, you can write, or else leave as it is. I always tend to leave as it is, because the developer who written the code will know what the commit message is. So I will just say confirm. Fine. And then you are done with that. And then if I refresh this one, you can see that one notification is gone, and you can see here one closed. So if you come to this code, see in the master branch, before we had only one file only. Now you can see we have got two different files, and you can see it is now, if you see in the chart branch also, you will get the same two files only. Okay, and you will see the completed project. Now this master branch your DevOps team can take and then push to the production. So that is the way. And in your organization also, when they are using GitHub, the same concept they will be using, just different files. You might have 10 different files will be there. So that's how actually you will be branching yourself, and then branch merging. So you will see here git branch hyphen a, we have understood git branch, we know already, we have created git branch. You can create a new branch, and then so these two lines whatever you are seeing, instead of that I have written one single line. Okay, I have created a branch and then switched to that branch. Okay, so that is the way. And then you know this one, git pull origin we have already done. Fine. No, see, this merging is different actually. This merging is from one branch to another branch. So I always suggest to have a what do you call, pull request actually. This is final branches pull request actually. There is another branch merging is there. That merging is basically, let's say, I'll show you that one. So I was about to say when you do this git stats, but still you asked, let me give that. So let me do one thing. Okay, now I'll do one thing. Let me go to GitHub, and here what I will do, see, I don't have a second person, right? So what I will do, I will click on this. I have an option actually. Don't do that in your real time actually. You will be in mess. So I'm doing this one just for training purpose only. So I'm saying adding JTC text from GitHub Edge another user. Let's say one person actually added this line. Okay, because see, we are doing a collaboration. I'm not the only person using this particular project. Then there is no use of this GitHub, right? And then I'm saying updated first dot RTF. This is nothing but my commit message actually. RTF add second line, some name I'm writing here, commit message, and I'm committing. Great. Okay, now you have got one more line. Now if you see here, this is which branch I did. Let me go here, master branch, right? Now let me do one thing. Let me also make sure that I'm which branch. Oops, sorry, git branch. Okay, you can see I am in chart branch only. Now what I will do, git checkout and then I will say master. Because see, whenever I'm pushing this chart branch and then making a pull request, I should not be using this chart branch because I have completed that one. Now git checkout master. Okay, do I have, I don't know why this .dss is coming. For now, what I will do, git stash I'm doing. Let's see the command. Okay, git stash save. Don't worry about this. I'm just writing something actually. Ignore so stashed. I'm just writing something. Fine. Okay. Now I can check out. So whenever you are checking out to another branch, make sure whatever code you have written should be committed actually. Okay, committed and pushed. So git checkout and I will say master. Okay, now I am in master branch. You can see I'm on master branch. Okay, now whenever I'm in master branch, let me go to my editor or whatever it is there. And you can see, you hear one funny thing you will see. You can see whether you can see or not. Let me. You can see only second.java is there, but in reality, in the master branch, what is there? Both the files are there. How is this possible? This is possible because from chat to master, I have merged into the GitHub only. But in my local chat branch only these two files are there. Master branch it is not there. So that's why whenever you are writing a new code, make sure that you are pulling the latest code actually. Okay, always make sure because you don't know who added, who updated this stuff. So always you want to write the code on the latest code only, right? So that you will get some other changes also. So what I will do here, I will say git pull. I will say so git pull. If I say now on this master branch, you can see all the files got loaded. Now if I go to this folder structure, I will be getting first.rtf, second.rtf. Before only second was there. So always make sure that you are pulling the latest before starting a new code development, so that other changes also you will be seeing here. Okay, now the thing is that I did this one right. Let me again go back here into the second dot rtf, and then I will edit something and I will say, don't worry with this funny text. I'm just writing something, and here I'm not giving any commits because it takes automatically. Okay, now I have already some commits are there, and by that time I have already pushed my latest, right? So I'm not sure what latest are there. So here what I will do, see somebody is writing simultaneously here. At the same time I am editing my own stuff actually, because definitely I will do my own, right? So this is second.rtf. Now let me go back to this second.rtf and open it in text editor, and you can see here only again welcome is there. That third line is not there because somebody else has written and then pushed that code. By that time I am writing something. See, that's what the collaboration is all about, right? So here what I'm telling, again welcome from local drive. I'm writing something actually here and I saved. Now you will see the same file I have updated and somebody else also updated here. Okay, now you will see this one, the file. You can see the changes. Oh, 1 second, let me make it as 24. You can see it is telling welcome to JTC, again welcome, again welcome. But here I am saying again welcome from local drive. Means at the same line I have updated and some other user also updated here. Now if I pull this one, I updated something. Now here what I'm doing, git, and I'm doing dot add dot let me do one thing. Let's do a status. Okay, and you can see it is modified actually already. Now when it is modified, now what I need to do, I need to add that particular because it is not yet tracked actually. So I will be tracking that one. So what I will do, git commit sorry, git add, and I will say second dot rtf, sorry, rtf. Okay, and if I make it a status, these are all as usual, so I'm just writing here. Okay, now let me do a commit as well, because I want to keep always ready everything actually. So git commit m, and I will say that updated from local drive. Okay, and I'm getting it prepared. Fine. Now you can see somebody else committed something, and I also committed something. Now I always told that anything before you are pushing your code, or before you are pushing your code base to the GitHub repository, always get the late. So at the beginning you want to get the latest, again at the end, because if I push this particular code, then it will give me a conflict, because second.rtf has a different message and I have different message. So always I need to, so at the beginning you are pulling the latest, and at the end also you should pull the latest, because by the time 1 or 2 days you are taking your time, right, to write your code base, so somebody else would have already pushed actually code to the centralized repository. So always make sure that you are pulling the code, latest code actually. Now if I pull this one, see, you are getting a conflict. Okay, so now this is the merge, locally you are merging actually. So whoever asked that question, are you clear with this merge? So that merge is different and this merge is different actually. Now this merge, this local merge, always you will get conflicts only, because there are chances actually. So that's why if I am conflict, if I am what do you call, resolving this conflict, then this pull request conflict you won't get it, because I'm taking the latest of others and then my latest, whatever I want to keep mine or the others, whatever I want to decide, and I will push the complete message only. Now here what I will do, now merge conflict. Now what I would suggest, to make it easy actually, always use a particular editor actually, don't use the commands. The time whatever commands I have shown here, only use that much only into this for your own benefit only. So what I always do this, I always go to the Visual Studio Code, and Visual Studio Code is not limited to C sharp or Java or something. Now let me open that particular folder actually, project structure. So git repo sample, this is my project. Okay, now here if you see, it is giving me a nice view actually here. Again, how do I do this one? Hopefully you guys can see. I know it is very small actually, but let's make it let's see if I can increase the font, preferences, settings, make it as 17, and then save it. Okay, sorry. Yeah, okay. So here you can see Visual Studio Code. Let me just quickly go through this Visual Studio code. So you can see this icon. So this icon is a folder. All the project structures, folder structures you will see on the left hand pan, and you will get a search. Don't worry about that. And you will be installing a Git extension. So if you see here, it is telling merge changes here. So the conflict, whatever we got in this, that is coming here directly, second.rtf. If you come here, I hope you all can see very clearly this one, this particular stuff. Let me make it as a full screen, and here you can see head means current change means what is with me actually, and this is coming from the, what you call, from the GitHub actually. After you pull that code, it is coming. So incoming change, and this is my current change. You can see here few of the links are there. Accept current change. Current change means remove all the changes what other person did it. Okay, if you are sure, never do that. If you are sure that other person's whatever they did is really correct, then I mean, they, whatever they did is really wrong, because by the time you have updated something, their code is no longer valid. So make sure that you will do the current change, your change is only valid. If not, connect with that person, because you will see that name also, who is that person, and then you can connect directly. Accept incoming change means if you're sure that the other person is correct, then you say accept incoming change. Because if you are saying accept current change, you will only see this much only, whatever you have written, that will go as a final. Accept incoming change, the final which it is coming from the GitHub repository will become final. Accept both the changes. Okay, accept both the changes means your changes also will be there, some other person whoever did their changes also will be there. So most of the time, 90% of the time, uh, we normally do accept both changes, because see, that person would have done in some sense actually. So I will say accept both the changes. Now you can see what happened. Your changes came here, accept again welcome, and then from the local drive, and then it is from the GitHub repository as well, and then from the GitHub repository only. This set is from GitHub repository, this set is from yours. Now here, see, you can see this is, if I again come back to normal, you can see it is not yet saved. I just merged actually both of the code base, and this is only one file. You might have 10 files the same thing only. Now what you need to do, now you need to see what and all things are really valid for you. See, this is repeating, so I will just change something, and then I want to keep, or else let's say that this line of code should come next to this one, so I will just write here, and then I will save it. Now when you save it, what will happen? This is only saved in my local only. How do I know? Get status, simple. Now it is telling, boss, you have merged, but you didn't push it yet. So the same procedure again, get add dot, and then get status. Okay, like this it is coming. Now what you need to do, get commit hyphen m, and then you will say, just give something. What should I give? I say that final something I'm giving. Okay, now you have committed. Now the next thing is that git push, you need to do that. Now see, you will not get any conflicts. And then see, you can observe these three lines. Now let's see what will happen to this one. Okay, you can see all the changes whatever I have done is coming to here. That is the way. And now it is because master branch, and always make sure do not edit anything on the master branch. You have to do which I did at the before actually. Always whenever you are downloading the code, always make sure that you are checking out to a different branch. On that branch edit everything, then make sure that you are done with everything, make a commit, then go to your master branch, and then pull that code, then merge to your master branch, from master to your local branch, which I did at this moment. Then you push those changes. Okay, are we clear with this, or is it like confusing all these things? Okay, so one question came is that is Git extension is only plugin with Visual Studio Code? Yes, and for the Eclipse and IntelliJ, you basically don't need any kind of extensions. I think they come by default with that. I think nowadays with the latest version of Eclipse, they are coming default Git plugins, or else you can just search with that. If it is coming with that or not. So let me quickly show that a Git actually. I mean, how does your Visual Studio Code anyway? I have shown, right? This is my IntelliJ actually. Don't worry about this code structure. It is, I mean, just think about that. It is normal project folder only. Okay, now how it is? If you go to this VCS, there is something called as a VCS menu. Let me see if we have some extensions. Go to the preferences. I mean, I have preferences. If you are on Windows, go to the settings, and you will see some plugins. You all are very much master in this, right? Way to install the plugins. And let's see if I have anything Git installed. I don't have anything installed. I think it is coming by default, because if you see Git toolbox, I don't have anything. Let's see in the installed one. Oh, there is a Git. I think it is coming as a default Git and GitHub. Just go to your plugins, IntelliJ plugins, and go to the installed. If you are not seeing this Git and GitHub, you can just install that. I think it's coming as a default bundle only. If not, just install these two. Once you install and restart your IntelliJ, then you go to this VCS. This is like source control actually. And then what happened? Oh, you know what? This is not Git oriented. Let me do one thing. Let me open that particular project. Uh, that Git repos sample. Let me open this one. this window. Okay, fine. So this is basically my project, right, which we were learning. Now if you go to VCS, you can see Git. Now how this Git is coming, because you did Git init, right? From there this is coming. You can even do commit also here. You can see there is a commit is coming, and this is where all the changes, like I can even quickly show you here also. So let's say from IntelliJ, something I'm writing here and saving it. And then if you go to the VCS and commit, you will see already it is coming into a staging area. I don't know if I can expand this one, but I can just say default change list and second.rtf is coming. Now if you double click this one, it gives you a side by side comparison also what you have changed. And this is, you can see, you need not to add anything. It is already adding with a checkbox. If I don't want to add that one, then I can just uncheck it. Uncheck means you are not adding that. Okay, now commit, you can see directly commit message is coming here, so that you need not to even do git commit also here. So you can just write something and then go to the VCS and then git, and then you can see push and pull also the same thing. You have these two options, and Eclipse is pretty much similar. Actually there is no difference with that. I just liked IntelliJ from the beginning because of its layout and it is simpler. Okay. Okay, one good question actually I got. I got that, do I really get one history or whole history? And the answer is that I am getting from the beginning whatever commits are there. How do I get it? Again, go to the commit, and you can see there is a small git actually here at the bottom. Uh, I don't know why this highlight is not coming, but at the left bottom corner, if you see on my IntelliJ, you will see there is something git, and if I expand, you can see everything you are getting here. Who changed everything? Okay, see. And because I'm only the user, so that's why I'm my name is only it is showing, but you will see all the history and even whatever changes also somebody did. So there is no escape if you're doing any mistake. I'm just joking, but this is really helpful if multiple persons are what do you call, kind of uh, editing the code into this. Okay, I think pretty much Git is related to this much. Depending on your organization, you will. So now the thing is that now I have shown about Visual Studio Code, because some people, like, let's say if you guys are get chance, because you guys are developers, right? Some of might kind of work with the front end development. Some of you might be a full stack, like front end and back end you will do. So you might even need to work with the Visual Studio Code. So I have already shown how do you deal. I mean, it's just a quicker view on this one. And then if you are using a simple Java into the IntelliJ, you can see here. And also, some people feel like to use the command prompt because they feel like more geeky and techy, so they use the command prompt. So depending on your need, you can use any one of these platform. Another thing, just not to confuse, but there are certain things which you should be knowing. There is something called as a Git desktop also. Okay, so that's a least priority. If you want, you can use it. If you don't want, you don't use that. But I can quickly just show that one as well. Sometimes I face problem with these commands. I mean, and while push and pull also, I'm getting some confusions. So I always use this Git desktop. Where is my Git desktop? Mm, it should be somewhere here. Let me minimize everything. Oops, I don't know why this Git desktop is not coming. Okay, let me go to that website and show you. I don't know, some problem with my application and it is not coming. Git desktop, and it is again for Windows and Mac, it is there. Okay, let me quit and reopen the Git desktop so that it might. Yeah, Okay, luckily it came. So if I'm using Mac, then it will come. If you're using Windows, it will show you download for Windows. And something like this, it is here you can see. It is again the same like an editor only. And what you can do first, you can go to the preferences. You can log in to this particular what you call GitHub desktop, whatever the name. I mean login credentials. You will just use the Git access. You will have to give the Git access, then all of your Git repos, whatever it is there, will be displayed into this repository. And then you can just click on that. All the changes, you can see all the histories like we are seeing into the editor. You can do like this. You can even go to this current branch, pull requests, everything you can do just in a different way. You can fetch origin. Fetch origin is basically Git pull actually we are doing. Even if you go to this menu bar, you can see repository push pull and all these things you can see. You can create a new branch and everything you can do. Just do different explorations. I mean the way I did it, with your own account you can just create Google with the Gmail account. You can just create a new GitHub account and then follow the procedure. I will give this note. I will create a PDF file and then follow this one. Okay, it's pretty much simple. I mean, I would say that if you're getting here and there some errors, normally definitely you will get some errors. I mean, you know already where to search. I mean, definitely we are here to talk about that. But if not, also you can just search Stack Overflow because different people might get different problems while installing the Git and pushing and pulling all those things. Fine. So that's pretty much an overview and how to use the practical usage of the Git and GitHub. We will wind it up here. So hopefully this will help. I will share this PDF so that you guys can get start with this one. Fine. Okay. Thank you guys for your patience. We have extended it much, so hopefully it won't be more loaded to you guys. Fine. Have a good day then. See you all. Bye.